Today, I'm going to show you how to make a beautiful wind chime using a graphic tin can, something like this, and just a few other supplies in just minutes. Really, I think I can do this in less than 30 minutes. I will time myself for sure while I'm actually doing it. And I have to say, I did prep the can by punching the holes first. That takes a little longer the way I do it, and I'll show you how I do it. So if you're always looking for a fun way to put some whimsical and creative items in your yard or just in your house, hang it from the patio rafters or whatever, this I think is going to be a really cute one. I love rustic, primitive, just different things that aren't, that you can't buy anywhere. They are one of a kind. That's my kind of deal. So let's get crafting and do it. Here are the supplies for the most part. You need a couple other things, but I'm going to show you that separately. You'll need a can with a nice graphic label. You need some wire, just some inexpensive craft wire. This is probably about, 20 gauge, something like that. Something fairly sturdy. Some random pieces to hang from the bottom. And I just picked out a couple old measuring spoons that have some really weathered patina to them. I just love it. I love rustic stuff. This bed spring is broken here, but it's going to work fine for what I'm going to use it for. And then a piece of rusty bike chain. It has a hole right here on this end. This end does not, but this is going to be great. I don't have to punch any holes other than in the can, but you can find whatever you want to use and punch the holes. And then I have a piece of chain that's going to work great for a handle. I also have a snipper, a wire cutter, and a pair of flat nose pliers. And next, I want to show you a short video that I'm going to use anytime I need to show how I punch the holes in cans, like here for the handle on each side and then in the bottom. It's the same technique, so take a look, and if you want to use this method, great. If you don't, do it however you want. You just need to get some holes in your can. I'm going to show you now how to prepare your can to make holes in it. I'm going to punch some holes around the rim, one on this side and one on the opposite side. So it'll be a handle, basically. And what I've done is I put ice cubes in an empty, clean can that I'm going to use for this project, filled it with water, and then put it in the freezer. And this has just been in the freezer for about an hour. So it doesn't take that long, but it's something you can do ahead of time to make punching the holes a lot easier. And I'm just going to put a cloth down. And what I'm going to do is punch a hole just right there near the top. The ice gives me a strong, solid surface to hammer against. I'm just going to use a nail and a hammer and go right through there. See that? I just punched a hole right there. Now I'm going to go on the opposite side of the can, straight across, right there. And I'm going to punch another hole. And this keeps the can, the solid ice in there, keeps the can from denting. It's extra work, but I've always found it to be helpful. So there's my second hole. Got one over here. Right there and right there. So next, I'm going to just let the ice melt, and I will catch it in a pan to use to water plants. And then the can will be ready to go. So you can do this ahead of time. When you empty a can and wash it, and you know that you're going to want to make a hanger out of it, just punch a few holes like this, get it ready. It only takes about an hour in the freezer to turn solid, but start out with ice cubes and then top it off with water, and it freezes in no time. Just be sure to set your alarm or something to check it, because if you leave it in the freezer too long, the bottom can bulge and then it distorts the lovely concave bottom. But if you don't care about that, you can leave it in the freezer for days. Now we're going to start by adding the items to the bottom of the can. I have 4 holes, 3 to hang things from, and 1 I'm going to put this spring in the middle, so that if you've ever noticed with wind chimes, if you don't have a center piece, the other components can get tangled up. This kind of acts as a barrier right in the middle. It'll make more sense whenever it's finished. But I'm going to just cut a piece of wire, and I want it to hang down from the can, maybe this much. I don't know. I'm going to go ahead and cut the wire about here. I don't know what that is. I don't measure things generally. I'm not that kind of crafter. I like to wing it. So we're going to use this. I'm going to slip this through here, and I'll show you. It's got some kind of gunky stuff in it. I don't know what that is. I did give it a bath. I give all my little pieces, because a lot of these are found objects that I just pick up off the ground or find somewhere, and I just use them because I love them. So I'm going to wrap this wire to secure it to the bottom, and I just used my fingers. It's easy enough, but I'm going to finish it off by using the pliers and just wrap that wire just like that. So that's not going anywhere. And then this is going to go inside the can, in the middle hole. And I'm going to work with it from here. I'm going to twist it to make a piece of wire to act as a stopper, just so the wire doesn't go through the hole. But it's just some loops. And then I'm going to bring it down, and it hangs like that, just like that. And next I'm going to add the 3 pieces. I'll start with this long spoon, and it's pretty long, so I'm just going to hang it close to the bottom of the can. So I don't need very much wire. I'll go ahead and cut about that much. 6 inches maybe, I don't know. And I'm going to go ahead and actually I'll make a stopper, again just using my flat nose pliers and twisting the wire to make a loop, just like that. I don't know if you can see that. And I'm going to push the wire through the bottom of the can. Okay, there it is. And I'm going to bend the wire close to the end of the handle, and then I think I will just twist it around. I want it to move freely in the wind, so I'm just going to just loop it through the hole in the handle, wrap the wire on itself up above the handle, and I think that looks pretty good. I'm going to trim this extra wire off and set that over there. So we are halfway done, just about. With this part, we're halfway done. We're going to hang this one next. Same technique, but I want the wire to be a little longer since the spoon is shorter. So I'll just do that much. And I'm going to do another loop to make a stopper for inside the can. We don't want the wire coming out the holes. So there's my little loop. And it's just a little bit tricky getting the wire in the hole. There it is. So here's the wire. Pull it all the way down, and that was way too much. Oh well, that's all right. And put the wire through the hole in the handle. And I don't want these to hang evenly, like the same length. So I'm going to make this a little shorter. And I'm going to cut off this big tail because I don't need all that. And I can maybe just use that for the bike chain. So I'm going to make a little bit of a loop here. That's a large hole in the spoon, so I am going to have to twist it around a little bit. So there we go. We only have to add the bike chain now. And I really do think this wire is long enough. So I'm going to make a loop again. That's the stopper. It's not going to go through the hole with that curled wire. And then I'll push it through the last hole in the bottom of the can. And there it is. Now we're going to use the end of the bike chain that has a hole in it. Just slip it through there. And I want to see, I want it to be a different length, so that's about right. I'm going to twist it up, kind of bend it, and then I'm going to turn the wire on itself just like this, make a little design. And I'll just trim that little tail off. And we now have the bottom part of our wind chime is done. All that's left, and it makes a nice little noise, little sound, I think. All we have left is to add the chain for a hanger. So this can go in a tree, it could go on a beam, it could go in your house, you could hang it somewhere, you know, fun. Do you want to, you know, in your kitchen might be nice. So we're just going to take a little bit of wire, a couple small pieces, just like this, couple, maybe 3-4 inches. First, we'll go through this hole on the side. There's another one over here, right there. I showed you how to punch those, so that part's pretty easy. And I'm just going to loop it up, just like that. And instead of using the bottom link, this is very open weave, I'm going to use the next to the last one because I think it'll be more secure. So I'm going to loop through both of those. I just put it through one piece of wire through each side, and then I'm going to twist it. I'm going to use my little pliers because that wire is a little stiff. Curl it down. Curl this one down. And that should hold that chain on there. Now we'll do the other side. We're just going to do the same thing right over here. Take the wire, put it through the hole in the can. Bend it up so you have both ends. And then I'll find the end of this chain. And this one's more secure looking, so I think I'll just use the last link here, right there. So I'm going to push the wire through those holes and then twist it around a couple times. just like that. And then turn the ends down. You don't want to get poked. And look at that. It's done. So what do you think? Here is the finished tin can wind chime. It's hanging in my tree, and I hope you will give this quick and easy craft a try. You could certainly paint your tin can, take the label off and paint it, do whatever you want. But I think it's fun and whimsical, and I like all the just weird found objects that I added. It works for me. So I hope to see you again next time. Bye.